What's up, guys? It's your boy Rich here. So could Seaholm's Rover be the ideal field watch? Test results would say yes, but what about actual field results? Let's check it out. And here it is in 41 millimeters, 48 from lug to lug, 13.8 millimeters tall, and that includes the 2.25 millimeter tall domed sapphire crystal, and with a 21 millimeter lug width. And the Rover is the second Seaholm that I've reviewed. I previously reviewed their flat chronograph, and I really enjoy that chronograph a lot. That's a chronograph that measures the distance of a coming storm versus the typical chronograph that measures speed. So, like all Seaholm watches, the Rover is built around three tenets. It is anti-magnetic, true water resistance, meaning after prolonged exposure to underwater, Seaholm watches showed zero rust inside the case, and it is water resistant to 200 meters. And the third tenet is that it is shock resistant. So, according to ISO standards, an acceptable time deviation from a 10-foot drop is 60 seconds per day. But for that same 10-foot drop, Seaholm watches have shown a zero time discrepancy in accuracy. So while a lot of watch companies claim to have those three attributes, they are not all created equally. And I think Seaholm watches are some of the finest built watches that I've come across in a really long time. And one of the other signature looks on the Seaholm dials is that brushed or bark finish, which I find really attractive and a lot of fun to stare at. This version is in blue, and it has these really sunburst cool effect, but it is also available in black and white. And they all come with a bracelet and a NATO strap. The Rover comes inside this really cool and unique metal canister, and when we unscrew the lid, it reveals a compass, which comes in really handy for the type of adventurous watches that Seaholms are. And inside the canister comes a leather wallet that holds our watch, and inside the wallet is the extra NATO strap and the tool to adjust our bracelet. One of the most popular comments you guys made from the flat chronograph video is that you felt that the text size of the Seaholm branding is oversized. And I agree, it certainly is not small, but it's also, to me, not distasteful. And it's certainly not because of the ego of the owner of Seaholm watches, because Seaholm is not even named after the owner of the watches. The owner is named Todd Adams, and Todd named Seaholm after sort of a tribute to Walter Seaholm, who made a bomb-proof bunker in Austin, Texas, which today is considered a landmark. And I think the Seaholm name is befitting for a watch like this, which is basically indestructible. Just about every detail of a Seaholm watch is really well done, from its finishing to the dial to its bracelet. The finishing of a Seaholm is just quite exceptional, and I find the brushed detail on the side of the case to be different from the bracelet. And the side of the case, dare I say it?
Do it.
It kind of sort of reminds me of the legendary Audemars Piguet's Royal Oak finishing with that brush finishing. Just really well done. And there are some polished accents underneath the bezel. And so if we return to the bracelet, Seaholm makes some really great bracelets. There's the clasp, and it does have a diver's extension right here. So the bracelet is really well done, and I know that's important to a lot of us. And it snaps perfectly and crisply back in place. So we just had a glimpse of the solid Caseback, and here it is again, where it says Seaholm, and then it has their three tenets: anti-magnetic, anti-shock, 200 meters of water resistance. And the Caseback is done in a brushed finishing or bark finishing, just like the dial. And as attractive as the Caseback is, that might be also an area of improvement that I would recommend for Seaholm watches. It's a little more sterile feel to me, so I wouldn't mind the Caseback having some kind of artwork on there. Perhaps maybe something like the bomb-proof bunker that represents Seaholm watches. You know, something like that might be, to me, a little bit more attractive. Other than that, it is it is a well-done Caseback with the screws that holds the Caseback in place. So what is the movement that is powering the Rover? Well, it's powered by the Swiss Solida 200 automatic movement with 38 hours of power reserve. And the retail price of the Rover is approximately $1,900. And for that, We are getting a really nicely made field watch. I would put this quality, the build quality and the craftsmanship and the level of details on par with some of the earlier Tudor models or Oris. So if we're looking for a really nice field watch, to me this is a little too nice looking to be worn as intended, which is a field watch, and to be roughed up with, but it's a watch that certainly can take it. I just think this is a great all-purpose everyday watch that just would look great in all occasions. But I've handled those other watches that I just mentioned a lot, and this watch is certainly not at all below the details and finishing of those watches. To me, it's on par, and based on these independent tests, actually exceed the quality and craftsmanship of those other brands that I just mentioned. So if we're looking for a watch that is going to be more of a mainstream brand, a brand that's going to be recognized by a lot more people than a Seaholm, then obviously those are going to be the choices better suited for you. If we're looking for a really, to me, more unique, very attractive field watch that has just exceptional build qualities to it, then I think the Rover is going to be a nice option for those of us. So while the Rover is priced a little higher than many independent brands, it's priced competitively and less than a lot of the mainstream brands, and certainly not less in build quality. In fact, I would actually say this is superior in build quality to a lot of other watches priced above the Seaholm Rover. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you the next time. So if we return back to the bracelet, ooh, good job, Rich. So could Stockholm's Rover be... And it's in 41 centimeters, 41 millimeters.